Hi, welcome back. So in this session, we are going to discuss about Docker commands. As I stated, this is our Cloud and Loud JIT ID, GitHub ID, and inside there is a Docker-training repository created specific for Docker training. And inside this repository, there is a folder called class 4 Docker commands lab 1. So if you go to this repository, go to this folder, and this is the command we will discuss about as part of this session. So in previous class, we will explained about how to install in CentOS, how to install Docker in Ubuntu, and how to verify. So basically, the high-level installation we have explained. So now we will go one by one as part of the Docker commands. So this is my Docker machine. So as I said, Docker version. Yes, I'm getting output. That means Docker is installed successfully. And also there is a one more command which is very useful, Docker info. This command will show you the complete information about the Docker host. The reason why this command will help most of the time is, say for example, do you remember we are running all these commands and we have installed as a direct root, but in production sometimes you may need to work on Docker everything as a functional user ID. The user should be added into the Docker group, part of Docker group. Okay, so once you added, okay, you log into that user, run this command. If you are able to run this command without any issue, that means the user is having full privilege on Docker group. Okay, so now we will go one by one the commands. I'm clearing it out. Press Ctrl L to clear the screen. So Docker Sear CentOS. So how to identify official images from the Docker Hub? So go to hub.docker.com. Okay, this is our Docker Hub repository. So you can search Cloud and Loud. So this is our Docker Hub ID. So here we are planning to create a lot of custom images slowly. So you can keep visit here. You will get a lot of predefined images. So here I'm just going to search CentOS. See here, if I search CentOS, I'm getting a lot of images, but there is only one image. There is an official image. Okay, the reason this is very important is whenever you want to customize anything, please be careful on the images, which is because this is a public platform. So we don't know who is pushing these images because these are all persons like you and me creating these efforts and pushing. So we don't know what kind of a scripts they injected in. So always trust this official image, which is more safe and more secure. So you take this image, you do what you want, you customize it and create. After all your changes, you create a custom image from that and take and push it to your own repository. Later, you can use those custom images which you stored in your repository a number of times. Now, the same how we are going to check it in command line, Docker search CentOS. So if the the window is somewhat bigger, you reduce it. So I'm just reducing it so that I want to show you the output very clearly. See here, we are getting a lot of outputs, but there is only one image as an official image. Okay, so always stick to official image if you want to do any custom image creation. Don't go with anything. Of course, we don't know. Maybe it's a really it's a spam image, or it's not vulnerable. But when go to any production purpose, always stick to some official community, because this is approved by community. Okay, now go back to the commands. How to run the image? So I am going to say docker run CentOS. Let me clear out the screen. Docker run CentOS. Enter. Since there is no image called CentOS available in this machine, so it is going to hub.docker.com, downloading the image and running it. Okay. So we will check. Now this will be exited state. How do we check? Docker ps, sorry, there is a typo. See here, there is a exited states, but we tried to run. It was downloaded from hub.docker.com image repository, and then it started docker ps, and then it got exited state. So why it is going exit, we'll see slowly. Now this will be exited state. Check docker ps-a command. Just now we executed. So now you open the Docker Linux machine in two different putty window. So already one putty window we have opened. So I'm going to the Google Cloud mine. So I'm opening one more putty window. Yes. So as per the instruction, I opened a two putty window. Run the below command in one window. So now we have two window. We will run. So the command, what is the purpose is docker run CentOS. It will run exit, but we want the container machine should be always up and running. So -it interactive terminal, because we need some terminal to run. And what shell? Base shell. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this. Before that, we will log in as a root, sudo su increase it. So in one window, we are going to run it. Docker run interactive terminal CentOS base. Please notice the changes. This is my Linux machine, which we installed Docker in previous class, but there is a prompt now changed. That means from the base machine, now we logged in the container. In the introduction section, Docker is one machine. I'm installing Linux or Windows. On top of this, I'm installing Docker software. In here, we can create n number of container. Okay. So this command, what happened is, it is created the container and logged in. Now we are inside this container. That is why the prompt is really changed. Okay. So now we will go to the other window. Go back to your instruction. So run this command docker ps-a in another putty window. See here, this is the one just now we executed. Just docker space run space CentOS, right? But this got exited. Why? We haven't informed that. Okay, start the container with some terminal. So it got exited. Now we haven't closed. The session is active. So we are checking in another putty window, login window. It is running. It's up. Status is up. Correct. So now the container is running state. See the container state. It's a running state. It's up. Okay. Now come back. If we exit, okay, till we log in, it will be there. But before that, I would advise this kind of a thing. Always add watch command, which is a very handy command. watch -n1, you run any command. So what will happen is you no need to type every time. So every 1 second, this command will be keep on executed, because we need to see the difference. The moment we exited, see here, which means IT, interactive terminal, it will log in, but when you do all operation, once you finished your operation, if you come out, it is getting exited, right? So you need to run as a background process. That is why detached mode. You can say detached mode or background interactive. So, but D is independently, you are making the downloading the image, making the image to spin up as a container in the background. Okay, so we will run this. Let's keep this window. So we will paste it, detached mode, previously CentOS. So now in Nginx also, this is the first time. So it is not available locally. So it's getting downloaded from hub.docker.com. Okay, automatically it's starting. Let's see here. See here, Nginx, it's up. Okay, even be log in inside and come outside, everything you can do it, because initially itself you specified as a detached mode. This is very important. In production, definitely you need to run as a container background always, because even if you go to home also, the server should be up and running, right? So the detached mode is really important. Come down. And now I want to go log in the already running containers. So let's go here. Already we are running this. So this container is already running, right? So just now we started. So which container is running? The Nginx container is running. So Docker execute. Let's copy this command, but we need to change it, because this command I have created with a different server. So when you do in your lab, change this. What to change? Go here, from this output, what is the container ID? Come here, change the container ID. Okay, don't get confused. So I'm going one by one. Please follow. If you have any confusion, please put it on the comment section. Immediately I will help you. If needed, I will take the remote control. I will resolve it. So the container ID depends on, while you practice, what is the container ID you are getting in this output. So enter. See, there is a difference. So this is your local virtual machine, which you installed CentOS or Ubuntu on top of this Docker software installed. But this is the container. Now you logged in. Come down. So the container ID you need to keep change during all your practice. Okay, come down. Now, even if I exit, check the status, still it's up. Because why? Because we have triggered this as a detached mode, background process. Come down. How to inspect exited containers? As I said, if you run, okay, let's get out of this. So Docker, just to put a PS, it will show you only running containers, but I want to see all ps-a, right? So that means this command will show you all exited as well as running. That is what we have mentioned here. How to pull the Docker image? See, directly if you run this command, first it will check the locally. If it is not there, it will go to hub.docker.com. From here, it will download and start run. but I don't want to run, just to download, that's all, right? So in that case, use docker pull command. Okay, docker pull. Okay, what do you want? Okay, I want MySQL. Okay, so this is just to download, nothing to do with it. Maybe later you want to put some running purpose or whatever, but as of now, pull command is downloading from your Docker repository. Right now, we don't have any private repository because we haven't mentioned any repository tagging here. So as long as you are not specifying any specific one, it will always go to hub.docker.com, or you can change it, your default repository, which we are going to see as part of performance tuning later point. Clear? So now come down. I am going to say Docker images. In this stage, how much images should we have it in our Docker machine? Initially, there is a CentOS. So CentOS image should be there, and Nginx. And now we have tried for MySQL, correct? MySQL, right? So these three images should be there. Can we check now? Okay, Docker images. See here, Nginx. Sorry, first CentOS we executed, and then Nginx executed. Now we also using pull to download MySQL image. So these three images already downloaded. If you run CentOS again, if you run Nginx again, you won't see any output called downloading, because already it's in downloaded. It's in local. If there is nothing in local, definitely it will go to the Docker image repository registry, and then it will get downloaded local. Now come down. How run the instance command? Say for example, you are one container is running, right? So can we log in that container? Can we log in that container? Yes, I am inside that container. Remember, what is that container we logged in? Nginx container. So can we go run this command, ping command? Why? Ping command is not working. The ping command should work, right? But we logged in Nginx. Okay. Can we run this CentOS? To make sure you are all understanding, the container is not having any OS. Container is having specific libraries and there are the relevant files, right? So which means Nginx means there is no ping command. Okay, I will come out. I'll show you. Ping command, if I want to, if we need to run ping command, what else? What packages has to be there? Okay, yum what provides. Okay, I want to know. I'm a layman. I don't know anything, right? So just run the ping command. Okay, so what will happen is it will tell you what are the packages has to be installed in order to utilize the ping command. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will show you. Then I will make you very clear. You cannot expect all commands in all Docker images. It won't work. Of course, it won't work. See here, there is a couple of packages it pointed out. iputils. If you install iputils inside the Docker image and created as a custom image, then ping command will work. Okay. So now, can we go run the similar one? See here, there is a background. Instead of Nginx, we will try with CentOS, and we will go inside and run the ping command. let's see what happened. So copy this, go here, and instead of Nginx, we will go with CentOS. Okay, now go here. Can we run ps-a? So CentOS is running in the backend. What is the container ID? This is the container ID. Okay, and we will log in inside. Instead of this container ID, this is Nginx container ID. Now we will replace it with the CentOS container ID. Now, can we execute ping command? See why? Because the CentOS image. Okay, I will just explain. This is CentOS image. Okay, this is CentOS. Okay, this is the Nginx Docker image. They stored in hub.docker.com kind of a image repository. So in this CentOS image, ping command is working, which means iputils package they installed and taken the image, store it in image repository. But this Nginx, there is nothing to do with the iputils, right? Nginx is a web server. So web server related packages they install and store it in Docker image repository. So this is the simple concept you all need to understand. So that is why the spinning time is very, very fast, because it is only available what I need, meant to that package, meant to that container, meant to that purpose. Simple, right? Let's delete this. Go back. So that is why you need to be careful what image you are going to use it. So let's go with the BusyBox directly. I'm not going to log in inside directly. Okay. See here, BusyBox image is not there. So it is getting downloaded. Once it's downloaded, automatically it is getting tested. So this is also one of the way you can test. If your purpose is going to run a lot of troubleshooting command, website monitoring commands and all, then before you plan provisioning for the particular image, that means the BusyBox image as a running as a container, you can now itself test whether those similar commands are working or not. This is exactly, people will create a simple pipeline also to test all kind of a checks. Correct. So when I run this, what is happening? I'm not running as a container. I am just downloading the image, and till this command, okay, I'm getting tested inside this. Let's check there is any container is running or not. So let's go here. See here, after the command completed, so it got exited, because we never told to run as a container in the background process. Correct. If you run as a background process, then definitely ping command will work. Why? Because there is a necessary package installed and customized and image created and stored it in your image repository, hub.docker.com. Go here and run ping command. So this also we can check very quickly. Don't get confused. In this, what we are doing is we are trying to run HTTPD image. This is the actual Docker image, right? Inside this image, I am trying to use ping command. Definitely it will not work because it's meant for web server. iputils command, definitely it is not there. Correct. So let's enter. HTTPD is first time it's getting downloaded. See, because the ping command will not work, right? So now the same way, BusyBox, definitely it will work because the necessary packages are already installed, created as a custom image, and then pushed it to Docker repository. Enter. It's working. So that is why the container images, the Docker images are really compact. What you need, only you need to make sure those packages are installed, take the image and store it. That is the way you can improve your provisioning and the speed of the performance. Come down. We need to run some web server. Okay. How do you do that? Docker container run publish port 80. What is the image? Web server image Nginx. So enter it. See here. So there is a web server is running. Okay, but you cannot see here. There is a web server is running. Okay, but you are not running as a background process. If you exit, this process will be killed. Why? You are not running as a background detached mode, right? See here, the machine public IP address is, this is the IP address. So I have accessed this. So I'm getting the Nginx. Why? Because the process is running. See here. But if we exit from this process, let's refresh it. It won't work because the process we have exited, because we haven't initiated this process as a background process. Correct? So this is the exactly you need to understand. Whenever you want to expose it, you must expose with detached mode. Whenever you want to expose or start the container, you need to expose as a detached mode. Sorry, detached mode. Okay, detached mode. And then publish web server Nginx in port 80 running in background. See here, there is a detach, the same command, but we are adding the detached mode. So we will run this. Go here, clear out the screen. We will run it. So now can we do this command? Make sure, see, there is a Nginx is running and port 80 to port 80 mapping is there. This is your container port, and we are also attached to mapped to the Docker software where installed the local machine, Linux machine. We map it to the same port. We will see different port also we can map it. So now I'm going to execute it. Yes, it's working. Come down. There is a image. How do we inspect the image? Docker image inspect Nginx. So let's check what is happening. So this command will help you to understand about that image, complete information. What is the version? So if you want to understand before you decide something based on your deliverable, better you try to execute this as an artifact purpose. You will get complete information of that image, right? And go here, inspect container. The same way you can inspect what is the container. Container ID will be vary as part of your exercise. So go here. What is the container ID? I am taking some of the containers which is running in my environment. So I am taking this. See, the same command, but only thing is you need to take some running container which will give you a complete information. So the inspect command is very crucial when you are working in some production. Later point, we will see some of the automation also using the inspect or performance tuning. So, and there is another command, Docker system prone. Before going to that, I will show you Docker ps-a. So there are a couple of exited containers. There are a couple of up and running containers. So let's see what this command will do. So this will remove. Please, this command will be very, very careful. Anyway, we will explain during the performance tuning. Most of the time, this around this command only, right? So it will remove all stopped containers if it is no network is used, at least one container, then those networks also will be recycled, and all dangling images. Dangling images we will explain about in one of the specific session. And due to that dangling image, if there is any catch, that catch also will be removed in one single command itself. So I'm just going say yes. So now we will run this command. Let's see what happened. I will clear out so that it's fresh. See, almost all exited has been removed now. Only the up and running containers it's showing, correct? So this is also one of the very good command when you are going for any command. Okay, to set the name of the Docker machine. Right now, you go here, the Docker machine. I will come down. See here, there is names are setting in somewhat random, right? So the names are setting, say, flamboyant. So something as per the standard, but we cannot go with their machine naming convention. So we go with web, or say production server 1, or production application project 1. So you define your name. Okay, copy this, go here. So go here, I am going to execute this. See here. So now you can use this name to log in directly itself, because you already tagged this name. Use this name, you can log in. This name we won't forget, right? But this name we cannot always keep in mind, because this is just a random junk names. So come down. Also, I want to map it. I want to have a specific name, and I want to specific the directory mapping also, because right now there is no directory mapping. So if you want to have volume directory mapping, you can utilize it. So let's run this httpd. So later we will see what is the tagging. So enter it. So if I go and execute docker ps-a, see here, the container is started in the name of cloud and loud -web. Automatically the port is getting mapped. The Nginx port is mapped with 8087. So the clearly 8080 is base Linux. Okay, so we have given 8087, and 80 is your httpd docker image. So the docker port is mapped with 8087. So let's go here, colon 8087, but nothing is there. Why? Because inside there is no index.html. You know the web server part, right? If you want to configure any default web server, correct, what is the default home directory in Apache web server httpd? So user local apache 2 htdocs. Inside there should be index.html. Either you can directly go inside the container if you not mapped volume, or since you mapped var temp, directly what you can do is go here, go to /var/temp. Okay, echo. Right now I'm putting ls, there is nothing. So echo, even you can use va editor to put some name, but I am giving like this. don't sleep, wake up. Okay, or wake up, I am monitoring you. Okay, and redirect it to index.html. Enter it. So now go back to your this one. See here, because remember we have running the container with the home directory, but I am afraid if I store something inside container, the data will be lost. So what I'm doing is I have some persistent storage, persistent directory. So already mounted. Assume this is some NFS. So you map this directory. I'm just giving example. Normally in production there is a soft. You can map it or/data. It's up to you what directory you are mapping. But I'm just giving an example. So as long as you store some file, automatically it will be accessible directly from the container. The same way. So in your practice, you can change this as a 87. There is a typo. So 8087, but you can run 8080 also. But only thing is during your testing, the machine public address :8087, because this command you mapped 8087, right? So come down, run the container, and how to find out the IP address. So let's take some running container. How do we see running container? Docker ps-a. There are some running container, correct? So use this command, docker run. Already there is a containers are running. So let's take this, execute, go inside. Just now we have created some index.html, everything, and we are directly going here because these are all we have did it. If you want, you can do it again, but I'm just directly going to inspect. But what to inspect? Some running container. What is the running container? Cloud and Loud -web. So we are taking this running container name. Just now we launched. Enter it. So this is the command. Previously also sometime back we have checked. So the inspect is really useful. And in this command, we are specifically assigning the port mapping. But if you want, okay, let system decide what port. I don't want to decide, right? So come here. So you use capital P, means automatic port selection. So let's take this. Let's take this. Go here. Enter. Oh, okay. Already the web name is running. See here, there is a web name already running, right? So instead of this, we will go with web 1. Okay. So now go to this output. See here, web 1. Again, there is a dynamic port got assigned. If you want dynamic port, you can use this -capital P. If you want specific custom port mapping, then -p, then you need to specify the specific tagging, correct? So if you want, you can test it also. Let's take this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Copy paste. Yes, it works. So this is how you need to keep practice. If you get on some error, don't worry, fail multiple times. The more you fail in your lab, at least you know what you are doing. It doesn't matter whether you are a solution architect or fresher or system administrator or SME. The more you have confidence on hands-on, the more you can apply the same logic on your work deliverable. Stay tuned. We will come up with further sessions. Thanks.